algebra, which shows that with complex numbers, a solution exists to every polynomial equation has a root. The rules for addition, subtraction, and multiplication of complex numbers were developed by the Italian mathematician Raffaele Bomballi. A more abstract formulation for the complex numbers was further developed by Irish mathematician William Rowan Hamilton. So in this complex numbers and quadratic equation topic and subtopics covered are introduction to the topic, complex numbers, algebra of complex numbers, in that addition, subtraction, multiplication, division and integral powers of I, the square root of a negative real numbers and identities. Then fourth one, modulus and conjugate of a complex numbers and its properties. Then fifth one, organ and polar representation. Last, exemplar questions. Why complex numbers are introduced? Let us take one example from class 10th, which you have already learnt. The solutions of the quadratic equation x square plus 1 is equal to 0 is nothing but x square is equal to minus 1. Therefore, x is equal to plus or minus the square root of minus 1, which is not real roots. You call it as imaginary roots. The roots are imaginary. So the solutions to x square plus 1 is equal to 0 is x is equal to plus or minus 1. So that minus 1, square root of minus 1 was undefined in the previous class. So what is complex number? A complex number is an algebraic expression including the factor I is equal to square root of minus 1. So the square root of minus 1 is defined as an I. I is nothing but the first letter of the word imaginary, or sometimes they used to call it as iota. These numbers have two parts. One is called a real part and another one is called an imaginary part. And the real part is denoted by RE, real part of Z, and imaginary part is denoted by IM of Z for the complex number Z is equal to A plus B. That means real part of Z in this complex number A plus IB is nothing but A, and then imaginary part is nothing but B. This is called the imaginary part of Z. Complex numbers extended the idea of one-dimensional number line to the two-dimensional complex plane by using horizontal line. By using horizontal line as real axis and the vertical line as y-axis. So the horizontal axis real part of x and this is imaginary part of x. Normally that z is equal to a plus ib, the complex number is further they used to as Cartesian system of coordinate plane, that is equal to a comma b. That means the first part is x-axis and the second part is y coordinate, x coordinate and y coordinate. So x coordinate is a real part and y coordinate as imaginary part. Venn diagram of number sets. This already you know it. You see that the natural numbers bigger than that whole numbers. Further integers they invented. Then further rational numbers. Then after finding rational numbers, they find it very difficult that how do you define that non-terminating, non-repeating decimal number called irrational number that you have learned in class 9th. All these numbers, set of numbers put together as real numbers. Now rational numbers, irrational numbers called real numbers, and then later they found that I is equal to square root of minus 1 and it is denoted by a complex number. So therefore the complex number includes rational and irrational. So the biggest set is a complex number. So n, natural number is a subset of whole numbers, whole number is a subset of integers, and which is a subset of rational numbers. Further it is a subset of real numbers, and all these things is a subset of complex numbers. In that Z is equal to A plus IB complex number, what is I? I is nothing but iota I. It's a Greek letter word, 10th letter of the Greek alphabets, and in that z is equal to a plus ib, b is equal to 0. If you put b is equal to 0, what can you say about z? Z is equal to a only you will get. Z is equal to, you will get a, which is pure real number. Simultaneously, if you put a is equal to 0 in that complex number z is equal to a plus ib, that means a automatically eliminated and it reduces to bi, which is purely imaginary number. In other words, all numbers, real number, real, imaginary, or in the set of complex numbers. That means all real numbers are also complex numbers with imaginary part 0. Set of real numbers is a subset of set of complex numbers. Now let us switch over to algebra of complex numbers. As I have introduced in the slide, previous slide, what is algebra of complex numbers? If you take any numbers, addition, subtraction, multiplications, divisions, all these operations should close to that particular complex numbers called algebra of complex numbers. Now let us go to that addition and subtraction of two complex numbers, whether it belongs to the same complex numbers or not. Let us consider z1 is equal to a plus ib, z2 is equal to c plus id. Then there is some z1 plus z2 which gives adding real to real, that means a plus c, and plus imaginary to imaginary I into b plus d. So real part of sum of two complex numbers is a plus c, and imaginary part of the sum of two complex numbers is b plus d, again a complex number. So therefore addition of two complex numbers gives again a complex number. It satisfies. Likewise, subtraction of two complex numbers. When you subtract two complex numbers, the same method subtract two real part. That means a minus c plus imaginary part and imaginary part. When you subtract, you take that I common, iota common, within the bracket b minus d, again which is a complex number. So therefore the difference of any two complex numbers are also exist. Let us go for few examples. Addition and subtraction of complex numbers. 2 plus i3 plus minus 6 plus i5. When you add these two, adding real to real, 2 minus 6 which gives minus 4, and adding imaginary part with imaginary part, 3i plus 5i, that is equal to 8i. So 2 plus i3 plus minus 6 plus i5 which gives minus 4 plus i8. Similarly, subtracting the same two complex numbers will take, just to change the symbol to minus of minus 6 plus I into 3 minus 5 which gives minus i2. That means 2 plus i3 minus minus 6 plus i5 which gives 8 minus i2. Now let us see that equal complex numbers. If two complex numbers are equal, their real parts are equal and their imaginary parts are also equal. That is, if a plus ib is equal to c plus id, then left hand side and right hand side real parts are equal and imaginary parts are also equal. B is equal to d. For example, if 4x plus I into 3x minus y is equal to 3 plus I into minus 6, where x and y are real numbers, then find the values x and y. So compare left hand side and right hand side real part. So left hand side real part is 4x and right hand side real part is 3. So therefore 4x is equal to 3, and left hand side imaginary part is 3x minus y, and right hand side imaginary part is minus 6, and therefore here 3x minus y is equal to minus 6. So when 4x is equal to 3, which gives the result x is equal to 3 by 4. Similarly, substitute this x is equal to 3 by 4 in that second equation, 3x minus y is equal to minus 6, in which you will get y is equal to 33 by 4. So the values of x and y in which the two complex numbers are equal, then x is equal to 3 by 4 and y is equal to 33 by 4. The next slide, multiplication of two complex numbers. Let us consider z1 and z2 be any two complex numbers, a plus ib and c plus id. Then multiplying two complex numbers is z1 into z2 which gives multiplying a plus ib and c plus id. So what you do when you multiply a plus ib into c plus id, just go for a traditional way of method of multiplication, ordinary method you do it. A into what you will get c plus id plus ib into c plus id. Now multiply a into c, ac will get, and here imaginary part ib into id, if you multiply I square bd, so I square is minus 1, you will get the real part ac minus bd. Now the imaginary part, this a into id and my ib into c, when you multiply, I is quite common, you will get I into bc plus ad you will get. So multiplying any two complex numbers which gives multiply real and imaginary of the next two complex numbers, which gives AC minus BD. In between you put the symbol of minus, plus just in the first complex number real part and second complex number imaginary part you multiply AD into I will get, and in the first complex number imaginary part and the second complex number real part, if you multiply I into BC you will get, in which I if you take common, iota if you take common, you will get BC plus AD. So you make it this as a simple formula for multiplication of any two complex numbers which gives immediate solution. Now let me go to one more example of multiplying any two complex numbers, 3 plus 2i and 4 plus 5i. Let us consider z1 is equal to 3 plus 2i and z2 is equal to 4 plus 5i. Multiply these two complex numbers. Just I am using the same method. What it is here, 3 into 4 real part and real part you will multiply. Then minus imaginary part and imaginary part 2 into 5 plus imaginary part iota into the first complex number imaginary portion and the second complex number real part. You just take 2 into 4. So 3 into 5, the first one real part, second one imaginary part. The first complex number imaginary part, the second complex number real part. If you multiply, you will get 3 into 5, 2 into 4 in between plus symbol. So in which solution you will get 12 minus 10 plus I into 15 plus 8, which gives I into 23. So wherever you will get I square, remember I square is equal to substitute minus 1. Because I is defined as square root of minus 1 complex number, that is square root of negative real number. Now in the next slide, the addition of complex numbers satisfy the following properties. What are the properties under addition of complex numbers? If you take any set of numbers, certain properties are supposed to satisfy. Likewise in complex numbers also, some properties must satisfy, then only we will consider this complex number as a set of complex numbers. Now the first one is the closure law. What is that closure law? The sum of any two complex numbers is a complex number. That means z1 plus z2 is a complex number for all complex numbers z1 and z2. Similarly, the commutative law must be true. For any two complex numbers z1 and z2, z1 plus z2 is equal to z2 plus z1. Just like a plus b, under addition a plus b is equal to b plus a. The same method. Again, third law, the associative law. For any three complex numbers z1, z2, z3, z1 plus z2 plus z3, which is nothing but z1 plus z1, z2 plus z3, which satisfies the complex number under associative property. Now the fourth one, existence of additive identity. Normally, what is additive identity under addition in general? I take one particular number 4. Additive identity under this number 4 is nothing but a 0. What does that mean? If you add any number with this particular number 0, which gives the same number, so such numbers are called additive identity. Likewise, the complex number z under the additive identity, 0 plus I0 is nothing but additive identity of the complex 0 complex. So additive identity of any complex number is nothing but 0 only. The existence of additive inverse. What does mean by inverse? The same method how additive identity we have seen. Likewise, additive inverse of one number, let me take the same number, let me take 4. When you add this number 4, which gives identity, additive identity. So what is that additive identity? 0. So what number you add with this 4 so that you will get a 0? When you add minus 4 along with this 4, you will get a 0. So what about that inverse, additive inverse of 4? That is nothing but minus 4. So when you take one number and the inverse of that number, which gives the identity. So now to every complex number z is equal to a plus ib, we have the complex number minus a plus I into minus b, denoted as minus z. Z is equal to a plus ib. So what is minus z? Minus a minus ib, called the additive inverse or negative of z. We observe that add these two, z and minus 2 minus z, which gives the additive identity. So z plus minus z is equal to 0, which is nothing but a identity, additive identity. Now the next one is the existence of multiplicative identity. There exists a complex number 1 plus I0. What is that multiplicative identity of a simple number? One number, let me take the number 5. Now what is that multiplicative identity? Which gives the same number. So what number you will multiply with this 5 so that you will get 5? If you multiply 1, any number if you take, you will not get 5 other than 1. So 5 into 1, which gives 5. So 1 is called the multiplicative identity of the number 5. Similarly, in complex number, the multiplicative identity is 1 plus I0, because 1 if you take is a simple number. So you need to write down a complex form. So there is no much imaginary portion. So 1 plus I0 is nothing but 1 only, called the multiplicative identity, such that z into 1 is equal to z for every complex number z. So what is that 1? 1 is the multiplicative identity of the complex number. Now let's switch over to the complex conjugate and modulus. What does mean by conjugate? Conjugate is nothing but just to change the symbol wherever that imaginary portion is there. See that iota plus ib, change into minus ib. So a plus ib and a minus ib are the conjugate to each other. So the conjugate of a complex number a plus ib is a minus ib, and it is denoted by z bar. Suppose I take one complex number 2 plus 3i. So what about the conjugate of the number 2 plus 3i, which gives 2 minus 3i. Similarly, here z bar is equal to a minus ib is the conjugate of the complex number z is equal to a plus ib. Now, modulus. How do you find that modulus of any complex number? Let me take an in general complex number z is equal to a plus ib. What about that modulus? Root of a square plus b square. How it has come root of a square plus b square? Just let me take in real axis system. One real axis, x axis, and another one is y axis. This is neutral area. Thus z is equal to a plus ib. Already in the earlier previous slides I told that it can be reflected or plotted in xy plane, that is complex plane. So how do you plot this a plus ib? A plus ib is nothing but a comma b. A plus ib is nothing but a comma b. Now where a comma b? On x axis a and y axis b will be there. Let me consider this is the point P and join OP and draw a line which is perpendicular from P to the base x axis. So this perpendicular length is B. So what is the length to OP? The length to OP is equal to, by using that Pythagoras theorem method, the sum of the squares of any two sides, that means square root of A square plus B square. So OP is nothing but square root of A square plus B square. So therefore modulus of ZA plus IB is equal to root of A square plus B square, and it is denoted by absolute value. That means two straight line in between you put a Z complex number, that is called a complex absolute value. Let us go for finding the modulus of Z bar is equal to A minus IB. What about the modulus of Z bar is equal to A minus IB? Where A minus IB is being reflected in XY plane, it will be reflected just fourth quadrant. That means, as we have seen that this point as A comma B and minus B, Z bar is equal to A comma minus B. So plot it A comma minus B, where it will just like a image of the point A comma B. So here A, this is down, negative of y axis, that means minus B. So I'll take down, I join this point P dash. This is the point P. So OP, just now we have seen that square root of A square plus B square. What is the length to OP dash? So OP dash is also the same method, because if you draw a line which is perpendicular from P dash to above the axis, x axis, this is B only, distance is B only. But when you plot it A comma minus B, the length to OP dash is nothing but same method, root of A square plus minus of B whole square, which gives A square plus B square. Therefore, modulus of Z bar, conjugate of A plus IB, is also nothing but A square plus B square, which is nothing but modulus of Z bar, again which is equal to modulus of Z. Inverse of Z. After finding that modulus and conjugate, how do you find that inverse of one particular complex number Z is equal to A plus IB? As just now I have shown to you that real and imaginary axis, x axis and y axis. Observe that Z point, complex number Z is equal to x plus IY. What about Z bar? X minus IY. That means image of Z is nothing but Z bar, or conjugate of Z is nothing but Z bar. Now how do you find the inverse of Z? I'll take, already I have taken here Z is equal to A plus IB. So inverse of Z is nothing but 1 upon Z. How do you simplify? 1 upon Z is equal to 1 by Z. Just you multiply numerator and denominator by its conjugation. Conjugation of Z. As you have already learned in class 9th, rationalizing the denominator, same method. How do you rationalize? Suppose you need to find the value of 2 plus square root of 3. How do you simplify? You just simplify 1 upon 2 plus square root of 3 into 2 minus square root of 3 divided by 2 minus square root of 3. That means rationalizing the denominator. Then later you will get a simplified manner. The same method here you are going to do that conjugation. That means here 1 upon Z is equal to 1 by Z into multiply numerator and denominator by the conjugate of the complex number Z, which gives numerator Z bar. You multiply numerator 1 into Z bar divided by Z into Z bar, you will get Z into Z bar. So what is Z into Z bar? Let us just verify. Z into Z bar is equal to, Z is nothing but I took A plus IB, and Z bar is nothing but conjugate of Z, A minus IB. When you multiply A square minus IB whole square, you will get A square minus I square B square, which gives A square. I square is nothing but that complex number square root of minus 1 whole square, that is minus 1, I square is equal to minus 1, minus of minus plus b square. So z bar is nothing but what it is? Modulus of z square. Modulus of z square. So similarly here z bar divided by denominator z bar is nothing but modulus of z square. Hence the inverse of z is nothing but 1 by z, which gives z bar divided by modulus of z square. Let us go for having certain examples, some examples. Modulus of, observe the first example here, modulus of minus 2 plus 5i, which is nothing but a square root of minus 2 whole square plus 5 square. Simply don't make any I square or expanding all those things, not required. Sum of the square root of a real and imaginary part. So minus 2 whole square plus 5 square, which gives square root of 29. Similarly, modulus of minus 6i, square root of, there is no real part, simply you just to put 0 square plus minus 6 whole square, which gives square root of 36. Finally, you will get a 6. Now, what is that modulus of 3 plus 4i? Modulus of 3 plus 4i, in a simple, verbally you can give answer. That is nothing but a square root of 3 square plus 4 square. So 3 square is 9 plus 6, 16, which gives square root of 25, that is equal to 5. Similarly, here modulus of 5 minus 12i is equal to root of 5 square plus 12 square, 25 plus 144, which gives 169, gives 13. And modulus of 6 minus 8i, that is equal to root of 36 plus 84, 64, that is equal to 100. Square root of 100 is nothing but 10. Similarly, square root of 24 square plus 10 square, which gives 26. Division of complex numbers. Let us take a plus ib and c plus idb, any two complex numbers, non-zero complex number. Then to perform the operation division of complex number is nothing but a plus ib divided by c plus id. That is, multiply the numerator and the denominator of the fraction by the complex conjugate of the denominator. Now how do you simplify? Simple method, just you multiply. What about the conjugate of denominator? C minus id. Similarly, numerator also, in order to compensate the denominator, numerator also you need to multiply c minus id. You just multiply denominator, you will get a one perfect real number, which gives a perfect complex number again. Express in the form of a plus ib dividing complex numbers. 2 plus 3i divided by 1 minus 2i. So what you will do? Multiply numerator and denominator by the conjugate of the denominator of the complex number, that is 1 minus 2i is 1 plus 2i. Multiply numerator denominator by 1 plus 2i. So when you multiply, you will get the numerator 2 plus 4i plus 3i plus 6i square, simple multiplication. Or else just you go for that formula AC minus BD plus I into AD plus BC. So that you will get 2 minus 6, that is equal to minus 4 plus 7i divided by 1 minus 2i into 1 plus 2i, that is square root of 1 square plus 2 square, which gives denominator 5. So simplify minus 4 by 5 plus I into 7 by 5. That means express in the form of a plus ib, in the sense compulsorily you need to write in the form of a complex form. Any rational expressions, you can write it in the form of complex form, that is minus 4 by 5 plus 7i by 5. Express in the form a plus ib, 4 plus I by I minus 1. So how do you simplify, or how do you express in the form of a plus ib? Let's go for some more identities, and we can express in the form of a complex number. So take an example of 2 plus 3i whole to the power of 3. This is of a plus b whole to the power of 3 identity. What is a plus b whole to the power of 3? Which is equal to a to the power of 3 plus 3a square b plus 3ab square
plus b to the power of 3. So the same for method you can expand it. 2 plus 3i whole to the power of 3 is equal to 2 to the power of 3 plus 3 times a square. What is a? That is 2. 2 square. B is 3i plus 3 times a is 2 into b is 3i plus last b to the power of 3, that means 3i whole to the power of 3. It gives 2 to the power of 3 is 8 plus 3 into 4 12, 12 into 3 36i. Similarly, here 3 into a b square. This is 3 into 2 into b square, 3i whole square. So 3 square 9, I square is minus 1. So minus 9 into 2 minus 18. So minus 18 into 3 minus 54. There is no imaginary part on this particular term. I square is minus 1 plus 3 into I to the power of 3. What is I to the power of 3? I square into I, that is equal to minus I. So minus I into 3 to the power of 3 is equal to 27. So minus 27I, which is equal to, add real and real. 8 minus 54 is equal to minus 46 plus 36 minus 27, which is equal to plus 9i. So 2 plus 3i whole to the power of 3 is equal to minus 46 plus 9 times I. Multiplication of two complex number in this. How do you find that inverse? Inverse of a complex number. Any complex number just to consider as a plus ib. How do you find inverse of the complex number a plus ib? It is nothing but 1 upon a plus ib. So z is equal to a plus ib and the inverse of z is equal to 1 upon z. You know it, how do you multiply? You just multiply numerator and denominator by conjugate of its complex number denominator. So 1 into z bar gives z bar. Here denominator z into z bar, which is equal to modulus of z square. So remember, in this complex number must be non-zero complex number. Then only you can go for finding the inverse. If it is zero complex number, you may not be able to find the inverse because 1 by 0, it does not exist. It is indeterminate form. Now what is modulus of z square? A square plus b square. What is z bar? A minus ib. So a minus ib divided by root of a square plus b square whole square, which gives a divided by a square plus b square minus I into b divided by a square plus b square. So the inverse of z can be expressed in the form of again a complex number, real part and imaginary part. If you take one example, 5 plus I. What is that inverse of 5 plus I? Very simple. No need of going for this much calculations. Under MCQ type, directly you can write down 5 minus I divided by root of 5 square plus 1 square root of 26. Clearly you can complete it. Now modulus. Properties of modulus of complex numbers. So what are the properties existed? Let us consider z1 and z2 be any two complex numbers, non-zero complex numbers. So z1 into z2, modulus of z1 and z2, which gives product of their modulus. Modulus of z1 into modulus of z2. Just we are going for modulus. So z1 upon z2 whole modulus, which gives modulus of z1 divided by modulus of z2, provided z2 is not equal to 0. Very, very important, because z1 into z2, any two complex numbers. So when you express any two complex numbers, you have to say that whenever denominator comes here, denominator must be not equal to 0. So modulus of z1 upon modulus of z2. And likewise z bar that we have seen, that is modulus of z square. So these are the important properties under even multiplication. That means properties under multiplication. So remember, whenever it comes inverse part, denominator must be not 0. If denominator is 0, there is no such inverse under this complex number. Now in that first part, what we have seen so far, let's have a recap. What is complex numbers? The complex numbers in the form of real and imaginary parts, which exist in two coordinate system. Complex plane, real axis is nothing but x-axis and imaginary part lies on y-axis. So x-axis is nothing but real part and y-axis is nothing but imaginary part. So any complex number, easily we can plot it in the form of an ordered pair and we can plot it in the xy plane. For example, 2 plus 3i, it is a complex number, 2 plus 3i. How you can plot it in the graph? You can make it xy axis, in which on x-axis what is the real part? Real part is 2 and imaginary part is 3. So the intersection of 2 and 3 meet at this particular point and this is the complex number 2 plus 3i, or you can write on 2 comma 3. The next one, modulus of a complex number. What is modulus of a complex number? Z is equal to a plus ib, then modulus of z is equal to square root of a square plus b square. So here I take 2 plus 3i. What about modulus of 2 plus 3i? Let me take that point P is 2 comma 3. Let me join P and origin. Draw a line which is perpendicular from P to x-axis and the base length is 2 units and perpendicular length is 3 units. So therefore the length OP is nothing but, by using Pythagoras theorem, root of 2 square plus 3 square. So the length of OP is nothing but modulus of a complex number, which gives 4 plus 9, that is equal to square root of 13. Similarly, not only 2 plus 3i, you take suppose 2 minus 3i. Where it existed, 2 minus 3i exists just quite opposite to that, above the x-axis, below the x-axis you will get and see that modulus of z bar, if z is 2 plus i3, then z bar is equal to 2 minus i3 or 2 minus 3i, conjugate of z. So conjugate of z modulus and modulus of z gives the same value. So here also the length OP dash, P dash is nothing but 2 minus 3, that is conjugate of 2 plus 3i, and here also you will get root of base square 2 square plus of minus 3 whole square, which gives root 13. So therefore modulus of z, which is equal to modulus of z bar, and the next one is additive inverse. What is additive inverse? The complex number z is equal to a plus ib, then additive inverse of a plus ib is nothing but minus a minus ib. So here minus of z is nothing but minus a minus ib. Take down this modulus, that also gives the same value. So modulus of z is equal to modulus of z bar, which is equal to modulus of minus z. This is another result under modulus. So conjugate part over, modulus part over, and then how do you plot, that is also over. Then algebra of complex numbers. What all it satisfies? Closure property, associative property, commutative property, additive inverse, then additive identity. What is additive identity? Additive identity is nothing but 0. So any real number can be expressed in the form of complex number. 0 is nothing but 0 plus i0. So 0 itself a complex number. As a whole, any number is nothing but a complex number we can write. So additive identity is 0. Additive inverse minus of z. Similarly, multiplication. So multiplication of any two complex number, I give the formula a plus ib into a minus ib, a plus ib into c plus id. Just you multiply real with real, imaginary with imaginary, you will get real part, and imaginary part, first complex number real with imaginary part, and imaginary with the real part, you just multiplied with the imaginary part I. So you will get how real part, imaginary part. So once again I will write down A plus IB into C plus ID, which gives AC minus BD plus I into real with the imaginary AD plus B into real part C, BC. So this is multiplication of two complex numbers.